What a time to be alive. Welcome to Constructing the Beast. I am your host, the man, the myth, the lion, Darius Riddick. For those of you that are coming back with us, welcome back. Thank you again for your support. For those of you that this is your first time listening in, welcome to our dysfunctional yet pretty damn determined family. But that is okay because I love and accept every single one of you. Dysfunction, determination, drive, and all. For those of you that are unaware what Constructing the Beast is about, this is a podcast dedicated to mental health, personal development, and overall tips, tools, and tricks in order to construct, develop, and feed the beast within all of us in order to create a more dominant, ass-kicking society in every aspect of life. Ladies and gentlemen, and I ask just one thing before we get started, that if you learn something or find something about this podcast that you enjoyed or that you are going to apply to your life, that you share it with just one person, so that way they can also have that betterment in their life and ultimately pass it on, because the idea here, once again, is to create a dominant, ass-kicking society. Not just for our generation, but our kids' generation and every single generation to come after. And ladies and gentlemen, the key here is progress, not perfection. So if you do feel like you have something to add, feel free to message me or to comment or something of that matter, because, we're learning together. So the more the merrier. As you may have already read, today's episode is going to be about power. P.O.W.E.R, the concept, not a ghost, but what it means in my eyes to have it and what it stands for. So I wanted to cover the concept of power as a next segment in our success train, because in order to be successful in whatever echelon of life that you are trying to pursue, power is important, and not in the power sense of, say, being like a figurehead or being someone of great magnitude or leadership, but just having general power over your life, over your thoughts, and just having complete control over who you are as a person. So really quick, the dictionary definition of power is actually the ability to do something or act in a particular way, especially as a faculty or quality. So that definition in itself actually reinforces the fact that power doesn't have to be associated with position, which is probably the first thing that comes to a lot of people's minds when they think of the words powerful or power. And it actually is more so leading towards the fact of it being like your aura or the way you carry yourself or self-love and self-projection. That's what true power really is. But we're going to go over the things that I think power actually stands for. So the first letter we're going to cover is P for perception, a word that quite a lot of you are probably familiar with, but we're going to look at perception in the fact of how you perceive your life, the world around you, in the circumstances that you are put in and day out. So it comes as no surprise to anyone, hopefully not, that life is going to have its ups and downs. There's going to be certain situations where you feel a lot worse and some days where you feel a lot better. Sometimes the worst days come more often than the better days, but that's okay, because you as a person can be strengthened. Now, during those circumstances, you have two choices. You can look at the circumstances in a pessimistic way, as in, woe is me, it's very negative, and you can let them overwhelm you and get the best of you. Or, which is the more recommended side, you look at them in a very optimistic manner. You try to take the lessons learned in the so-called quote-unquote mistakes and build upon those and become wiser for the future. Now, this aspect of perception is where it is key in having power. Now, this goes along with the phrase that I know a lot of you have probably heard. It's been around for probably centuries, and that is garbage in, garbage out. And with this phrase, we're talking about the thoughts you actually put into your subconscious and that you actually feed your mind. So basically, if you're constantly telling your mind and feeding your subconscious all these negative, pessimistic outlooks upon the situations that you're in, the things you don't like, building upon the negatives and really having that amplify in your mind, that's the kind of mindset you are going to carry throughout the day. So everything is going to seem negative. The part that you're in your life right now is going to make it seem like this is the worst part that you've ever been in. But if you actually look back, you're so much stronger than you were before. So what you have to do is feed your mind those positive thoughts in order to counteract that negative energy. So the key here is to capitalize on those things that you are grateful for, that you are blessed for, and that you know that you're good at, those things that you love that are happening in your life right now. If you can manifest those things into reality, take those things that you love the most and be grateful for them, you'll have such a better perception of the life you live right now. And that in itself will show you the things that you've been able to accomplish, and it'll make you feel a lot better. And in turn, positive energy will manifest around you and you will have a better life. So the next character is O for obsession. And this kind of goes into one of the phrases that I've coined, and it's if you want something bad enough, you will find a way. Whatever it is that you want in life, whatever it is that you want to achieve, that thing that you picture the most, you have to make it an obsession. A literal obsession. I mean, if you think about it 24/7, if it's always on your mind, if every single action that you do throughout the day leads to whatever that end goal is, that is your obsession. And you have to tell yourself that no matter what your circumstances are, no matter what you encounter, no matter how much of a bad day you have, each and every single day, you will do at least one portion in order to get yourself closer to that goal. And even if you get set back, no matter what, you will keep pushing forward until you reach it, because that is your obsession. And the only person that can ever stop you from getting to it is yourself. The third character is W for worldly. So in order to be worldly, you have to be open to new experiences, ideals, concepts, and virtues, values, and beliefs of other people, other countries, other religions, because that will ultimately challenge the way you think. It'll eliminate the whole concept of my way or the highway, because understand, people, that is a very ignorant way of thinking. It's very stubborn. And in order to progress in anything, you have to be willing to make those choices in order to do things a different way, because you can learn from them. Because understand, no one's perfect. Nobody has all the answers. But if you are a very open-minded person, it makes you wise and you learn things that will ultimately benefit your life in the society around you. So the fourth character, and 100% my favorite character of all, and it was really hard to narrow this down, is E for endurance. And the driving force behind this is grit. If you, and I'm sure you do, want to achieve anything worthwhile, it takes a whole lot of grit. That's being able to get knocked down, pick yourself back up, dust yourself off, and keep on moving. Man, it was really hard for me not to sing that song just now, pick yourself up and try again. Anyways, I can't sing. So back into it. It's just constantly being able to eat those shit sandwiches, but knowing that one day you'll be able to eat lobster and steak, nice and buttery. But it takes a whole lot of endurance, because there's going to be a lot of down days, a whole lot of shitty days, and they're going to come around a lot more than the good days. And you have to understand that even on your good days, as long as you can do things to progress yourself to that goal, to that obsession, then in the long run, it will be so sweet when you're dining on that nice plate of lobster, steak, shrimp, and butter, because you'll know that whatever you did, whatever you had to go through was totally worth it. And I know if you stop right now and think about that time where you went through some really hardcore stuff, just a terrible moment where you thought, there was no way out. But you're here now listening to this and you can look back and say, man, I made it. So if you really want it, just try over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. That's what's really key. Being able to continuously do that over and over and over and over again, learning different things, continuously applying that, and making your dream happen. And the final character, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for bearing with, is R for Requiem. And I know there may be some people out there that don't know exactly what this means. So we're going to break it down for you. Now, there's two main definitions here. One has to be dealing with the Roman Catholic Church and Mass for dead souls. And the other happens to be an act or token of remembrance. And I'm pretty sure you can probably guess which one we are going to be referring to. So for us, we're going to be referring to Requiem as an act or token of remembrance. And for a lot of us, this can come in many different forms. But for, let's say, businessmen and women, athletes, anyone who has to go before a big speech or a big game, this can come in the form of some kind of trinket or something that you hold for good luck before you have to do something on a mass scale. For myself, if you've ever seen any of my videos, you see I wear my lion's tooth. It means a whole great deal to me. I wear it pretty much every day. But for you all, whether you have your trinket or not, I wanted you to think about this aspect of power like this. When it comes to Requiem, I want you to have something personalized, whether that be a phrase or a slogan or something that someone told you that really changed your life. And every time that you feel that you're down or that you're doubting yourself or that something is stopping you from your goal or from seeing the big picture, you refer to that item, that slogan, that thing that you keep that's going to drive your motivation. So what I want you to do is whenever you feel that way, whenever you get those thoughts, I want you to think about that thing that you hold dearest to you, or, grab that trinket, that item, whether it be a necklace, ring, jewelry, whatever it may be, and think about one thing that you did not have a year ago that you are grateful for. And what this is going to do is two things. One, it's going to trigger that grateful attitude and build up that mana, that positive energy that's going to feed your optimistic perception over that situation and trigger that positive perception. And two, it will provide clarity. Obviously, it's no secret, ladies and gentlemen, with so much going on between our finances, family, friends, relationships, jobs, dreams. It is a lot to mentally take on every single day in a 24-hour period. So it is normal, to get those down times where you feel as though you are working backwards or that your mind is not going towards the way it should be. That's normal. It would be heinous or ridiculous. It would be absolutely insane to expect to be positive and focused on that dream 24/7 with that positive mindset. And the people that tell you that they are liars, because in order to do that, you wouldn't be human. So when you think of that trinket or that slogan and you take that act or token of remembrance, it allows you to do just that. Remember the things that you are grateful for. Remember where you were before and what you didn't have, but what you have now, because you remained so strong, because you stuck it out, because you had a positive perception, because you made your dream your obsession, because you were worldly, opened up to new experience, because you had the grit, the endurance to make it through it, and because you are grateful for the things that life has given you. And in turn, you start to realize that all those negative thoughts you had, you had them once before, but most of them are just bullshit. They're things that the world manifests in order to try to mentally stop you. But what you got to realize is you're a lot stronger than that. And all these things compiled into one makes you a powerful, a mentally strong human being. And in the end, when you build a bulletproof mindset, it's the one thing in this world that remains permanent, and nothing, I mean nothing, can stop you from what you truly want to achieve.
I was born for this, born for this. It's who I am. How could I forget? I made it through the